To Sheila Tiller Tooks, this is Sheila's bio. Growing up in one of the most notorious housing projects in Atlanta, Sheila has never fell into the stereotype that she would fail because of where she was raised. She has always felt that she was destined for greatness. Sheila contributes her mindset to her daily conversations with her parents and an elementary principal, Dr. Glass, who taught, "We are somebody and we will always be somebody." Sheila has always had a passion for using her voice to inspire others and equally loves to listen to their needs. She has been one where people find comfort in not just talking to her, but listening and taking heed to the advice that she gives. It wasn't until Sheila was an adult that she understood that speaking and listening weren't just her passions, but instead her gifts from God. After much soul searching and putting things into perspective, she clearly understands that her purpose is to inspire and encourage others, which she embraces with an open heart. Sheila says that her life's mission is to serve others through her physical and oracle abilities and to hold them accountable for where they are in life in order to help them see change. Help me welcome our final speaker for today, prominent speaker Shelia Tiller Tooks.
At some point, you had to become your own hero and fight for yourself. Whether you had to fight for your heart, emotionally, whether you had to fight for your life, physically, whether you had to fight for your soul, spiritually, or whether you had to fight for your worth, financially. Probably more times than you would want to admit out loud, you probably had to fight for yourself, prove to somebody else that you were worth it. Full disclosure here today, guys. The fight isn't over yet. So I just want to thank you guys again for showing up this morning. I hope you guys are enjoying the speakers that have come before me. But there's always going to be a fight. You just have to pick your fight, your battle, rather. Has anybody in here ever actually had to fight for your heart? Like maybe not in a relationship that you want to be in, or in a relationship that you probably shouldn't be in. I'm on my second marriage. That's all I'm saying about that. You're not in that relationship. What about having to fight for your life? Anybody ever have an illness? I think, illness that you had to fight for your life. When you get in those situations, you begin yourself in a fight that you have to be prepared for. What about having to fight for your soul? And I'm not necessarily talking about church or religion. I'm talking about your purpose here on earth. I'm talking about why God put you here on earth. And sometimes I find myself doing like everything else that I should be doing, and knowing that I should be doing something else. Les Brown says, you either live your fears and you live your dreams. So if you're not living your dream, everything else that you're doing is a fear. I find myself battling with myself with that. Sometimes like, why are you over here doing this? Everything else except what you need to be done. Everybody has to fight for their soul. What about having to fight for your worth? Like, first of all, right off the rip, let me just say, there is no amount of money in the world that actually can pay you what you're worth. But you ever had to put a number to it and somebody want to fight you with that number? For real? It happens. And actually, when I think about financially speaking, I read a statistic recently. The statistics tells us that 71% of people don't like their jobs. That's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of people. 50%, really though, 50% would have made me raise my eyebrows, but 71%, that's almost 3/4 of the workforce. But then I started to think about the actual faces in the 71%. So maybe someone went to work and their job was like, okay, well, we can't give you a raise this year. And you think to yourself, okay, I'm gonna get you to call Wells Fargo and the gas company and all these people, because the world doesn't stop because you can't give me a raise. I mean, right? Or maybe someone within the 71% of people, someone else going to work, and their job was probably like, okay, well, we're going to have to cut back on the number of hours that you can work. And then you're thinking, okay, well, wait a minute. All the times you ask me if I can stay late, every time I need something extra, all these other things, now that I need you, where you at? Right? So all those things can certainly make someone not like their job. My story actually falls within the 71%. So for those who don't know me, as the laborer said, that I grew up in the projects, I went to a public school, and as a senior in high school, I had enough hours that I was able to get out on work release. And so my guidance counselor, with her sweetest self, said to me, I found you a job. She was so excited. She knew that I would be excited. She found her a job as a secretary. I was making $3.35 an hour. I was begging, right? And so being a senior and not having a lot of money in our household, I was excited for you. Anything that came into our household was a lot because we didn't have a lot of money. So although my dad worked, he had a second grade education. So he made the money that he could make. And my mother, although she had an 8th grade education, she was a homemaker. Took home, stayed at home and took care of her girls, and she loved that. But they had taken us as far as they could. Graduate high school, get a job. So I didn't have someone to teach me how to fill out financial aid applications. Or I didn't have someone to take me on college tours. So in after high school, I did what I knew to do. I went to work. And I continued to apply for the same type of job over and over and over again, only because I had experience and not knowledge. And no one had ever taught me to do anything different. And so when I realized that I was actually living a life that I had allowed someone else to choose for me, I began to do some self-development outside of work. So I started to do some things over here and some things over there. And at one point, I began to gain some traction. And I came across this leadership program in DeKalb County, and a lot of top leaders go through this program. So I remember filling out the application, and I turned in all the necessary paperwork, and I waited for 2.5 long weeks. And I remember sitting at my desk, and the email came through, and I'm saying to myself, like, oh my God, what is this thing going to say? What is this email going to say? And so I just hit the button real quick, because I would have taught myself out of it. So I hit the button real quick, right? And the first word was congratulations. And the next few words were, you have been chosen, blah, 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 blah. I didn't read nothing else after that. That's all I need to know, right? So this opportunity would have asked me to come in, take a half day off work for once a week for a few months. So I needed to let my job know. So I remember printing the letter out, and I'm walking the letter to my boss's office, and I can remember having this really proud moment, almost like a child taking their report card to their parent, like with all A's. And I walked into her office, and I can see her standing because she's getting ready to leave for today, so she's gathering her things. And so I hand her the letter, and I'm standing there watching her smiling like a chess cat because she's reading the same words that I had just read. And she says, let's talk tomorrow. I have some reservations. So now my proud moment has turned to perplexity. And I'm thinking to myself, reservations? What was she talking about? What kind of reservations could she have? Like, I had enough leave that I could take off forever and still be paid. The rule in the office was, as long as there's someone there to cover the office, you're good. We've done that for years. And so in that aspect, I was still good. What kind of reservations could she have? So fast forward the next day, she's in her office and she asked me to come in. She's sitting at her desk and I'm looking down at her, and she looks up and she says, I don't think you're ready for this. So I'm going to deny your request. And then she added, the next time you apply for something like this, I think you should run it past me first. Now, I didn't say anything out loud, but my now perplexed look has turned to black girl magic. I'm like, bitch, you must be crazy. I asked her permission to become anybody that I want to become. It is not happening. And so what I did is, I didn't say anything at that time. I turned around, and as I began to walk, I began to get emotional. So I passed my desk. out of the door, down the stairs, and I found my bench and I began to cry. And I gotta tell you guys something about me. It takes a lot to make me cry. I've been called cold before, and I'm not cold. When there are times for hard decisions to be made, or things to be done, I don't necessarily think emotional, I think action. So for her to have me on the bench outside crying was a lot for me. It was a lot for me. So I went back in, I finished my day out. But when I went home, this was the difference for me. I sat on the bed. My husband works later than me, so I knew he wouldn't be home. My daughter had some kind of after-school stuff, so I knew she would not be home. And so instead of answering a phone call, I didn't get on the internet. I didn't even turn on the TV. I sat on the side of the bed. And I said to myself, you got to go harder than what you've gone before. Because they don't believe in you. They want your permission. They want you to ask for permission. And so I asked myself things that I thought someone should have taken the opportunity to ask me a long time ago. No one had ever asked me. And so before I asked those questions, I had to make sure that answers were coming directly to me. And I started to think to myself, if I take away the influence from my parents, if I don't have any suggestions from my sisters, who am I? Like if I took away the title of Pierre's wife, Kristen, Javon, or Sydney's mom, who am I? What do I want? No one had ever asked me those questions. If I take away my house and my cars, or the job that I work for and the title that they've given me, what is it that I want for myself? Like if the world was open to me, who was I at 10, 15, or 18 years old? When I met my most authentic self, what was it that I wanted? And if I were being for real with myself, with no limits and no fear, I've always known that my gift was through my voice. I've known that. I was too afraid to use it for real because I thought no one wanted to hear from me because I didn't go to college. And then sitting there, in order for me to get up, I had to remind myself, like, you don't allow someone else to ask you to introduce you to yourself, and you don't ask permission. And so I'm here to tell you that you don't ask the world for permission, that you don't allow someone to introduce you to yourself. Lisa Nichols says it's best. She said you don't ask the world for permission, you put them on notice. So today, you put the world on notice that your hero lies within. And no matter what somebody throws at you, you're willing to go through it with the world because you are not only arrived as your hero, but you're willing to stand as your own hero and fight whatever the world has to give for you. Then we ask ourselves questions like, how did I get here? How did I get here at this point in my life? Am I going in the right direction? What is it that I should be doing? All these questions that we pose to ourselves. You can now believe that you put the world on notice and that you're standing as your own hero. And if you don't have the answer, you look within to your own heroism and you know that you can do anything because it lies with you already. Or that sometimes you just need someone to ask you the important questions. So I ask you guys to just indulge me, if you will, if everyone would take out your cell phones and turn on your cameras and hold them in the air for me. Turn your cameras on selfie mode and bring it to the eye level, please. I want to talk to that person that looks back at you. I want to talk to that person without any outside influence, without any outside suggestions. Who are you? What would you want for yourself? To the person that looks back at you, if you take away any worldly possessions or any titles that you've gathered along the way, who are you? At 10, 15, or 18 years old, when you're at your most authentic self, what do you want for yourself? When you take away any titles that someone has given you, and anything that the world has attached to you as a stigma. What do you want for yourself? Not what someone else has wanted for you. What do you want? And let me just ask you guys, if you will repeat after me to the person that looks back at you. Tell the person that looks back at you that without any insight, without any influence, or without any outside suggestions, without any worldly possessions, without any titles that have been attached to me, that I vow today to put the world on notice that I am not only have I arrived, but I am willing to stand as my own hero and become whatever it is that I want to become. Thank you for that. You can put the phones up. Thank you so much for that. Listen, guys. Thank you for that. There's no cavalry coming for you. There's no knight in shining armor that's going to come swoop you up and give you your perfect life. The world and the people inside it is going to fight and challenge you every day. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. They're going to want you to prove your worth to them. But now that you know that you put your world on notice, and you know that you are standing as your own hero, be proud in your stance. And be your own hero, because everyone else is too busy saving themselves. Thank you.